Hello students. So this is the lecture 10 of hydraulic engineering. So in previous lecture we have learned about aquifers, confined aquifer and unconfined aquifer. So let us proceed further. So in this lecture we are going to learn about Darcy's laws and hydraulic conductivity, because Darcy's law we are going to use for the calculation of yield of a well, and hydraulic conductivity is a very important property of a soil on which the yield of the well is going to depend. Okay, so let us start today's lecture. So what is Darcy's law actually? This I think I have told in introduction. So it is a law which correlates the velocity and the hydraulic gradient. Okay, so this is that law. Actually this law states that V is proportional to I. So the higher will be loss, the higher will be velocity. This you might have observed also in if you are opening a tap in your household. So if the water, if you are two persons are there, one is near the tap and one is near the storage reservoir, like in the normal tank. So if the water is flowing very fast in the tap, so you can easily see that the water level in the reservoir will uh, reduce at a very faster rate. And if you are just opening the tap very, like the valve not very largely, so that the water will come very slowly, so the reduction in head will be also very slow. So this is a very practical observation. So this was observed by Darcy, and he has stated the law which was termed after his name, Darcy. Okay, he was a French hydraulic engineer, and on the basis of his experiments he has derived this formula actually. So this, if velocity we are knowing, so by multiplying the cross sectional area we can easily get the discharge. Discharge is what we want to calculate for a well or any porous medium, so that we can estimate the total amount of water that we can get from that reservoir or that storage. Okay, so I is what? I is our uh, gradient, hydraulic gradient. Hydraulic gradient is what? Gradient is something, whenever this gradient term is there, this means something is varying with respect to space. Okay, if it is time, then it will be rate. So gradient means something is changing. So what is that something? Here that something is the head. Head is changing with respect to the some particular space. So like here that water level is there, so let us say on this length delta H has changed. So what I will be delta H divided by L. Okay, so for a very small infinitesimal layer, what we can get, the head loss will be very small, let's say dH, and the layer length will be, the layer thickness is also, this is dH. Okay, so dH over ts. So this is the, sorry, this will be ds. This is the length. If one piezometer is here and other piezometer is here, so this is dH actually. Okay, so the upper layer, let's say head is H1, at lower head is H2, so this H2 minus H1 is dH, but H2 is what? Negative. Why? Because the water is getting lost. So to accommodate this loss, this negative sign is there. Okay, so I will be minus dH by ds. in more like 9 all, like whenever loss is there, the head is getting lost. That's why this negative sign is here. Okay, you can see this negative sign. H is what? Piezometric head, the difference between two layers separated at a distance of ds. K is the coefficient of permeability or hydraulic conductivity. So discharge you can directly get. So Darcy's law in is a particular case of a general viscous fluid flow. Actually, this is not a this is a particular case of very general condition. So it is not like we can always use Darcy's law. We have to make certain assumptions for application of this law. So what is this? This is, as we have seen in unit 1, this is Reynolds number. Reynolds number is V d A upon nu. Okay, so V is velocity, dA is what? Particle size, nu is kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity is defined as dynamic viscosity over mass density. So we have learned a lot about this Reynolds number. So let us now come to hydraulic conductivity. So the coefficient of permeability or hydraulic conductivity, what does it reflect? It reflects the combined effect of porous medium and fluid properties. So we can formulate this K, means hydraulic conductivity with porous medium, that is the medium soil or rock, and the property of fluid, the fluid which is flowing through that medium. So you might have learned in fluid mechanics, this equation you might have heard about. Hagen-Poiseuille equation was there. So in analogous to that equation, we can derive this. We can write this equation K for K. K is hydraulic conductivity. So this we can. It is not very complex. You can directly check this equation Hagen-Poiseuille, and you will get to know what these terms are. So the terms will be changed here because that is for pipe flow. So this is for porous medium. So dm will be mean particle size of the porous medium. There it was pipe diameter. Gamma is unit weight of fluid. Gamma is same here also. Mu is dynamic viscosity of fluid, and C is a shape factor, which depends on the porosity, packing, shape factor. You can see just this C parameter is covering many, is like correlating very many factors within itself. Porosity is there, packing, shape, grain size distribution, porous medium, etc. Okay, so let me okay, so this was hydraulic conductivity. So this we are going to like how we can measure the hydraulic conductivity. Hydraulic conductivity is measured by permeometer. In next semester maybe you will learn about this when you will be learning about the soil mechanics. Soil mechanics, the permeability is very important chapter. So there you will get to learn also, and you will do experiment also how we are going to measure the permeability of certain medium. So in geotechnical engineering, that medium will be soil, many of the cases. So one more term is there, that is intrinsic permeability. Okay, so this permeability, what we are having, permeability as K was no. Okay, K will be what? V upon I, because V is what? K into I. So this I is dh by ds, so it is dimensionless quantity. So this K will have the unit of velocity only, centimeter per hour or mm per hour, whatever. This the unit of V and K will be same. So but in dimension analysis, what you have learned, so we have seen that many if we are dealing with the dimensionless parameters, there what was that? The pi terms for dimension, for deriving the various formulas, the interdependency of various parameters, what we were using the pi terms, and pi terms were dimensionless parameter. So it is very much like advisable to deal in the dimensionless quantities or numbers. So like Reynolds number is also a dimensionless number. So to make this k or our this permeability a dimensionless quantity, what we are going to do, we will multiply it with mu upon gamma. Okay, it is a fictitious term, it is not a real parameter. So if we are going to multiply this k into mu upon gamma, what we are going to get, k naught, and this k naught is intrinsic parameter. If you are going to check for the dimensions, you will get what, this term as in the parameter, the dimension will come as meter square. Okay, so this, what is the beauty of this k? This beauty of k is it is independent of the medium and the fluid. This is dependent on c into dm square, as you can see here. This is dependent on c and d. Mu and gamma were what? Mu was the density of the dynamic viscosity, and gamma was the unit weight. So it is independent of the fluid flowing, it is only depending on the medium. So the analysis is now become simplified by using k naught. K naught is not a real quantity, it is a fictitious quantity. So in honor of Darcy, what we have done, we have named this meters 1 Darcy, like this centimeter square was there. So 1 Darcy is equal to 9.87 multiplied by 10 raised to power minus 13 meters square. Okay, so now let us see the various, what are the ranges of permeability for different mediums. So just for giving you the idea of how, like by checking the type of soil or medium, you can easily get to know that the medium is like having high permeability or low permeability. So for granular materials like clean gravel, clean coarse sand, mixed sand, fine sand, silty sand, these are sand is, if sand is there, then you can say it a granular. The soil is a granular material. If you are like for dry soil, if you will take in your fist, so it will disperse in grains. So these type of materials termed as granular materials. Like in your household, you might have using this talcum powder, like sugar is there, salt is there. So these are all granular materials. So check the range. Here you can see, like this is 1 to 100 centimeter per second. So as we are moving from gravel to clay, you can see the difference is, like let us say this is 10, and this, let us say this is 10 to the minus 6. So the difference is 10 to the power minus 7. So this difference is very, very huge actually. That's why clay are termed as impermeable as compared to sand. Actually permeability is also a permeable, and impermeable is also a relative term. So as compared to silt, clay is not that much impermeable, but as compared to gravel or sand, clay is a very much impermeable. Okay, so I think I will stop here. So in the next lecture we will be dealing with well hydraulics. So till now what we have covered: aquifers, types of aquifers. Now we have seen the Darcy law and the permeability or hydraulic conductivity. Now we are going to use these like Darcy law and permeability in calculating the yielding of the well. So now we will deal with the well hydraulics from the in the incoming lecture. So that's all for today. Thank you.